Have you ever thought about what a person might say at your funeral? Most people would like to be described as a great person who is worth remembering. That is the purpose of your eulogy. Although Barack Obama followed characteristics of a normal eulogy from Clementa Pinckney, he also did things a little differently. It is necessary for the speaker to collect information about the deceased through those who were close to them, especially if the spokesperson knew little about the person, which Obama admits to in his eulogy, though he had met Pinckney when they were both younger. Obama recounted how he noted Pinckney's graciousness, his smile, his reassuring baritone, and his deceptive sense of humor. Obama also gathered from Pinckney's friends that when Clementa Pinckney entered a room, it was like the future arrived. That even from a young age, folks knew he was special. Anointed. All these observations shed light on who Clementa Pinckney was and how great of a person he was. Obama managed to keep his speech positive and uplifting. Since Clementa Pinckney was murdered, it was appropriate for Obama to take a serious approach, while also being bold enough to add humor. He added humor at the beginning when he mentioned meeting Pinckney back before he had visible gray hair. When used cautiously, humor can help convey the personality of the deceased and illustrate some of his or her enduring qualities. In this eulogy, the wit Obama used could convey Pinckney's own personality and his deceptive sense of humor. Using a conversational tone, Obama was able to connect with his audience and share the moment with them. He related to them on a personal level due to his ethnicity and the historical background that follows suit. He mentions how important the church was in African American culture. During the time of slavery, African slaves established and relied heavily on their churches. Obama gives the term hush harbors, which is where slaves could worship in safety. Religion offered the enslaved hope and reassurance. They were able to keep their faith in God while finding shelter in their church. It hurt that much more that the killing happened during their Bible study because the church is and always has been the center of African American life. The church has established itself as the greatest source for their religious enrichment and earthly development. Black churches have always represented their religion, community, and home. Obama proposed that they did not know whether the alleged killer knew all of this history, but surely he sensed the meaning of his violent act, to deepen divisions that trace back to the original sin. Nevertheless, he was unknowingly being used by God. The alleged killer was unable to see the grace that surrounded Clementa Pinckney and his Bible study group, the love that they showed as they invited a stranger to join in their prayer circle. This was an interesting point to bring up within a eulogy, to deliberately bring up the cause of so much grief. But Obama illustrates how the alleged killer could never have imagined how the families of the fallen reacted to seeing him in court. They showed him forgiveness. This shows the power of God's grace that is also represented in the church. While the eulogy for Clementa Pinckney was uplifting and gave a positive light to his life, Obama took the opportunity to bring attention to some other topics, such as God's grace, some history of the black church, and how the alleged killer was being used by God.